I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about this really cool site and tool called Pathbright. It is located at pathbright.com. Right up here, you can see it. But it's pretty sweet. You can make an online portfolio, and it's really easy to use. It's free. What more can you ask for? If you go to pathbright.com, you can sign up for free right down here. I've already logged into my account. I already made mine. You know, it's super duper easy. And mine looks a little bit like this once I get in. Here's a portfolio that it kind of like made for me. It walked me through all of the steps, made it super easy. It's pretty cool. I'm really impressed with this thing. But what you guys can do after you make your portfolio is you have all these little panels, and it says replace this guy with some real content, right? You can upload different things and add different things. If somebody clicks on it, it looks kind of like this. But it's pretty cool. And we'll show you how to work on this bad boy here. When you make one, it's going to ask you for your birthday, and it kind of like populates this. This is my birthday, August 8th, 1977, because I'm old. But it kind of like made this for me to just kind of like show off. Like 77 was the year of the snake. Here's the cover of Time magazine when I was born. Et cetera, right? All the stuff from way back in the day when I was a baby. Apparently, it was National Zucchini Day. I did not know that until now. Pretty sweet. No, that guy's pretty hot. But you can make new ones, obviously, too. I started an academic portfolio, but what you can do is create a portfolio, and it's going to ask you what you want to do. Do you want freestyle, just like whatever stuff? Do you want an academic template? Do you want to go on a tour? I'm going to go for the academic one here because, this is an academic project. But it walks you through all these different steps, okay? So who's your audience, right? Well, who is this for? Is it for a prospective employer? Is it for Mr. Macy? Is it for me? Who is it for? Let's say Mr. Macy. Right? You fill all this stuff in. Choose your story, right? I believe I've developed into a highly competent what? What are you? What's the point of this thing? Maybe I'm a really good student. Maybe I'm a really good, graphic designer. Maybe this, that, or the other. Who knows? Fill it in depending on what you want to do. Grades and transcripts, you can kind of like go through your files. You can check stuff out on YouTube, any Google Docs that you have, all that sort of thing. But you can upload all of this sort of stuff. I'll skip that. It's going to ask you about, like, some of your scores that you've gotten. But you can kind of walk through this thing. It'll walk you through it. And you can find all of, like, these things from your past, or these things you've done, or clubs you're in, or, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you just kind of browse through, fill it all in. If you've got files, you can browse for those too. And when you're done, you give it a title, you give it a description, make it interesting, make it pop, be creative, and then it's going to spit out this portfolio at the end. You can kind of like drag these things around if you think something's a little more important than something else, you can resize it. It's pretty sweet. Maybe you want this all by itself, maybe this, that, or the other. I mean, you can drag stuff out of the way, but this, kind of gives you a chance to highlight different things, change it around a little bit. You can edit all of this sort of stuff, right? Here's your title. If I want to add a contact, that's me, right? I want somebody to contact me. Well, duh, right? If this is my online portfolio, they got to be able to get in contact. So there's my email address that I put in earlier when I set this thing up. At the very end, you can share this with whoever you want, right? So in theory, you'd make your online portfolio, you'd make it all beautiful, and then you would email it to a prospective boss or your academic advisor, or, depending on what the purpose of this thing is, you're going to email it to whoever you want to take a look at this thing. Anyway, pretty sweet. You can change your settings. Right now this is private, but if you share it, only that person can see it. If you want it to be like open to public view, you can change that in the settings. But pretty cool little tool, pretty basic to use and pretty easy to use. It walks you through everything. Give it a whirl when you can, and hopefully works out for you.